What's going on, guys? It's Nathan. Welcome to Hyperspace Hype, episode number 37. That is a number I had to even process that we made it that far. Oh my god, that's great. It's pretty chill stream. Basically, this round, we're going to be just running down a few extra topics. Quick thing off the note. We're officially back fluently on Spotify, which has always been linked in the description, so you can check that out and actually get updates now for the current podcast. Of course, you're going to get more visually here. But yeah, if you want to just like be on the go with us, you now can. So that being said, we're just going to kick off things. Joining us as always, we have Carson.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, like Nathan said, if you want to avoid all of our hilarious mishaps and unintentional visual gags, then please listen to the Spotify. Of course, if you're driving to, don't watch our YouTube. But yeah, I'm excited that we're on Spotify because that's where I listen to a lot of my podcasts. Of course, I love watching live shows on YouTube too. So it's nice you can get us everywhere. You can't get enough of us. But yeah, I'm excited to have a chill Saturday stream. We got a lot of like this, some cool little. We got some scoops. We haven't had some scoops in a while. I'm excited about that. We got some kind of official news with Mandalorian topics, which I'm interested to talk about because it's like. Oops, social media pulled the gun too early, it looks like, in this one instance for Disney Plus promotions. But of course, we've been talking about that for the last month. Of course, those images leaked and all that. So we're less than a month out. I'm excited to talk about Mandalorian and a bunch more.
Also joining us, we got Evan.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm feeling good. It's been a very chill, stay-at-home kind of Saturday. I'm excited to talk about all the rumors. Seems like a rumor mill episode today for Hyperspace Hype. And yeah, let's dig into some Mando, go through some nostalgia with Clone Wars and Rebels. I'm ready. Let's go.
Alrighty, and to that point, we'll just go and hop into like the Mando news, which is I think Disney was having some sort of an international press conference or something, and the presenter basically was just announcing like how excited they were to be working on a new season of Mando with both confirmation names of Rosario Dawson and Timothy Olyphant, which is interesting. I think I definitely was like, yeah, obviously we're gonna get Timothy Olyphant. That doesn't seem like something to like too stress about for like a rumor casting, but like the official like Rosario Dawson announcement, I think is interesting. It would be so insane to find out that like she's been cast, but at no point was she actually Ahsoka.
Oh man,
that would be a wild. You imagine episode 1, she shows up in a random role, and you're like, "Oh my god!" All that speculation and months of rumors. But this is interesting because I can't remember if Star Wars officially confirmed Timothy Olyphant. I feel like they did, just not the role of it. I'm pretty sure there was a press release like Timothy Olyphant showing season 2.
I think he was in like one of the Entertainment Weekly stuff where it says like, oh, when the rumor stuff is Timothy and Rosario Dawson, and it's still Entertainment Weekly is like vetted by Lucasfilm, of course, but it talked about like, oh, there's still rumors, so we don't really know for sure.
Yeah, so they're keeping it loose, they're keeping it fun. Mm-hmm. Obviously, those two characters they don't want to give us information about just yet, and I'm glad for it because we've learned so much about this season over the course of 8 months or whatever, ever since they stopped shooting and all the rumors started. I'm just excited that we're seeing more and more like little official tidbits. It's always fun to like. It feels very much like the WandaVision's news where they found the release date like deep in the Disney Plus code. I kind of love these stories where it's like little random like things that you shouldn't find and probably shouldn't know before, but like they leak out anyways because fandom can be crazy in some ways like that.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's pretty much where I'm at.
It's very funny because I think just last week there was some mishap on a casting news website, and they kind of revealed about how Tamora Morrison is going to be Boba Fett. Like I think on some casting website it said like Tamora Morrison 2020 Boba Fett post-production, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was actually labeled for like Jango Fett on the site.
Or Jango Fett, something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a little mishap there. And then just like now we're getting from Disney all the way over in Germany, a little mishap here with Rosario Dawson and Timothy Olyphant. Yeah, it's funny to look at these mishaps again, compounded upon all these rumors. I'm still just so iffy about Ahsoka, and I never will not be. Like I'm still just very curious to see what they do with her character in this season. I know it's going to be super small, whatever role she's given, but I'm just still very skeptical because like the only thing I can see the appeal of is like you can point at the screen and say, "Oh, it's a character I saw in animation. Now she's in live action. I get the cool shot of her in live action, and that's about it." Like I don't see the necessity of her being in the show. I'm really hoping for them to prove me wrong. I'm just very skeptical about it now. Timothy Olyphant, though, as Cobb Vanth, that is very exciting. I love him as an actor. He's fantastic. And Cobb Vanth is such an unknown character. We've only ever seen him in books that I'm actually interested to see what he looks like in live action and how his personality jumps off the page, per se. So that on that point, I'm very excited to see. Even though I'm not a huge Boba Fett fan, I'm kind of interested to see what his storyline does, how Cobb Vanth interacts with like Boba Fett and Din Djarin, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I've always been like of the camp of just like it feels weird to get like all these animated characters in live action. But I feel like at this point I've become so numb that I've accepted it.
I think I'm so numb.
I can't fit. I was just
copyright.
Oh, great, covers get covered. That's the worst. But yeah, I'm just I actually at this point I'm excited to see like how it's pulled off. The look and aesthetic and everything. So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to. And I'm sure they're going to deliver in terms of like plot functionality. I trust Favreau and Filoni, especially Filoni. So it's like that's his baby. So
of course,
Harry
Potter, like that's my boy. Yeah, that's his baby.
My boy. Yeah.
My boy.
My boy. That's my son. But yeah, it'll be interesting to check out. It's not too much more to go off of that because we've gone on so much about Mando stuff individually.
Yeah, exactly. Their characters.
Yeah. I'm just
reading lines of aftermath.
Yeah, I know. I'm just very fascinated to see that initial fan reaction when people see Ahsoka. Like, of course, there was that like the Hot Toys thing of like, is this based off of Rosario Dawson Ahsoka? I'm like, not really.
No way.
No.
It didn't look like
it's weird because I keep like my brain's bouncing back and forth because I was looking, I was like, it's not, and then somebody posted side by side. I'm like, that's still not, but that's a different one. I was like, maybe my eyes are tricking me at this point and seeing it.
Yeah, I think I just visualized it as like a Hot Toys illustration of an older Ahsoka, and people just like connected that with Rosario Dawson. I'm just like, I don't really see it. But yeah, I'm very curious to see that initial reaction to when they see her. Of course, fans are going to go crazy. I'm just going to be like, meh, probably. But it depends on what she's doing. I loved Ahsoka's first interaction in Star Wars Rebels. I think she was used perfectly in Rebels. And that was another show where season 1 was very, of course, during the original trilogy, but it was also very self-contained on the Rebels family. But you never know. I'm very curious.
That's a funny flip side with you, though, is like, totally. You're so against like animated characters coming to live action, but when all the live action people were showing up, you're like, hey.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, in Rebels specifically, though, Ahsoka's story was just like the last time we saw her, she was leaving the Jedi Council. Her story wasn't finished. Now we just finished season 7 of the Clone Wars, like a perfect ending, or I guess kind of like perfect loop because like the ending of the Clone Wars goes into beginning of Rebels. So I'm like, oh, the story is complete, and then weeks later, we get announcements that she's going to be in Mando. I'm just like, and then she can get her own TV show. I'm just like exhausted.
Will she be in Bad Batch? Like,
oh God.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I said it from the start. I just don't. It's a character that I love so much. I just don't want to be oversaturated to the point that it's not compelling anymore. Of course, I'm always gonna support Ahsoka and watch whatever she's in, or read whatever she's in, or stream whatever she's in, whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I think it's fine to be kind of on the fence about this because I like I've always said before, like that perfect loop that Evan talks about, I think it makes sense because I think we just have so much uncertainty is like, what is that last leg of the story that you need to tell in Ahsoka's journey? And is that beneficial to her story, or is it just serving a purpose for a connective tissue in the show. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the character because I absolutely trust the character, but I'm worried that her exposure in this show is just going to, serve a kind of just a little purpose that maybe I could have been without, or with the new character or new connections. So we'll see. I have trust, but I want to ask this question to end out this topic. With like these little marketing tidbits, do you think we see her in any official form of marketing pre the show airing?
Well, if we go off of another scoop report about how there was a special marketing only stuff shot for Ahsoka, I can imagine that popping up like a week before the premiere. Just because I remember like I think the last trailer for Mando season 1 came out a week before, and they were still like really well done at like keeping vague and hiding shots and like manipulating shots to cut Baby Yoda out of it completely, of like wide shots and things.
Yeah, that's still crazy how we didn't see a lick of him in the show. It's amazing. I'm starting to doubt it. We're 29 days, or what is it now? 27 days away. I think so, because like we talked so much about that rumor that she's filming a specific marketing shot, and the first trailer came out and nothing was rumored of Ahsoka ever in that trailer. I will say yes. I would say like maybe a voice, maybe not even a shot, maybe a voice.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think you'll get like a face reveal. You may get like action in a silhouetted cloak.
Yeah, it could be Sasha Banks.
It's interesting too because Mando season 1 did such a good job of masking every. I mean, I just mentioned this, Nathan, but like 98% of that marketing was from episodes 1, 2, and 3, I think, which was crazy to look back
Pretty
on.
much, yeah. Like
but literally, besides the shots
Gideon,
of just Gideon, and then it's just mostly all like exterior shots of them walking around on the
It's so funny just to think that like the shot like in that trailer was like it looked like there was a standoff between Din and Gideon, but like the Gideon shot was from like the finale, and like Din was from episode 2. It was like,
yeah, it's crazy how they can manipulate it. Like it reminds me so much of like The Last Jedi when we all were freaking out. I need someone to show me a place in all this, and Kylo holds out the hand, and we're like, what? What is happening? So Star Wars marketing. I would not be surprised if it is a little bit deceitful or deceitful. Which I'm fine with because if we get like a silhouette shot, the week before, Star Wars Twitter is going to blow up. Did you see the head? Do you see the lake? You can see it or what?
Right.
Oh no.
The double blades, like everything.
Oh gosh.
And I'll be right there with them screaming.
I'll be like, oh, here it comes, and TL's gonna explode, and Ahsoka's gonna be trending for like 10 hours. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah. And who's to say on what episode she even pops up at? We might have to wait till the actual finale.
Exactly. Like remember the whole Moff Gideon thing? Like Moff Gideon didn't appear to the very end of the show. We were all surprised.
Are you now fearful that she'll pop up for the finale and bleed into season 3?
Oh, I'm very fearful that she's gonna be season 3 too. Because
we like Ahsoka. It's just like it's the live action aspect.
I love Ahsoka.
Yes.
We gotta get Edge of the Bridger next season. We don't have time for Ahsoka anymore.
Stop it.
Oh, look who's interested in playing. Like,
oh god. I actually don't think Ahsoka will be in season 3. I mean, we already got rumors that Boba Fett's going to be in season 3.
There's rumors of Luke right now. Like, there's so much crazy.
Oh, because Ahsoka has to meet Luke, right, guys? We have to have that connection.
We got to deliver the child.
Oh man, yeah. The
child is the one who actually burned down Luke's temple.
That would be crazy. Charles Soule knew all along.
God.
This is gonna lead into the
Ben and Baby Yoda. Ben and Baby Yoda just like looking at each other. Baby Yoda's just like holding a match and just flicks it on.
I do love.
So dark.
I do love the photo. I love the Photoshop of like Ben standing in the rain and like Baby Yoda's like in his hoodie. That's great.
Oh man.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Further development of rumor mill. Alden Ehrenreich, you love to hear from him every time talking about Star Wars because we are all here hopeful for make Solo 2 happen and to get that man some work. I know he's doing something on like, is it Quibi?
Yeah, he was doing. What was it on Quibi?
I think it's Peacock. I think it's
Yeah, Peacock.
I think
what's the
that
difference?
I was like, is it
something All the World or something or
Brave New
yeah.
World. There we go.
Brave New
He got a
World.
He got a
Which
quick
is
name
great
drop
for-
in the boys. Like,
Yeah, he did get a name
Did
drop
he
in the
actually?
boys. That was very funny.
yeah.
It was like episode. What was it? 5.
Yeah, it was like in a like passing that like a Starlight went on a date with Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I gotta catch up with that show because
think it's like the
I'm
first
done with
episode.
season 1. I'm done with season 1. I feel like 2 days ago season 2 started airing, and now they're like season finale. I'm like, has it been 5-6 weeks? What happened? I know they
How
aired
many
the first 3
boys are we
episodes. But
getting?
That's how I feel about with Lovecraft Country. I need to catch up.
You guys, you guys suck with TV shows. I just say it. You guys.
Yeah, we're
always-
film
I'm
guys.
so bad.
Like, I try,
Okay.
man. There's so much media.
Yeah, I believe you. Sure.
Okay. Who's in control of the stream right now?
Wow, very true. I know, right? Press the red button.
Evan
Yeah,
is an imposter.
Alden coming back. Wow. Alden coming back is very intriguing, very exciting. We've been asking for this. It's very funny that this is coming out now because the past summer we've always been talking about Make Solo 2 happen projects, and it was first I believe first was like Emilia Clarke was rumored to be in some other shows, and then Darth Maul supposed to be in some other shows. Boba Fett maybe in some other shows. Now we're getting Han Solo. It's like, again, we had this conversation months ago, but it's just make all these characters that are rumored for all these different shows, make this all these characters in one big Solo 2 show. Make it a big, massive show. You don't have to have them in sprawling different, like, hey, Solo and Chewie show, or Emilia Clarke show, or a Crimson Dawn show, or Darth Maul show. It's like, they all can be one show. Come on.
They can all develop off of each other for like interesting stories.
I still think that all of these rumors are just sources of the same exact show.
I hope so.
And
I hope
it's
that's
just
the case.
like, oh, well, this is a different show because I heard about this character before I heard about those characters. So that means it's their show, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, and of course,
And
I'm still perplexed that we're getting a Lando or potentially a Lando
Lando
show
too,
and
I forgot about that one.
the
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson show. I'm like, what is going on
Sounds
here?
so weird. I forgot all about that. Damn.
That was
That's
more
crazy.
recent too, and we forgot.
Yeah, we talked about that
Um,
last week, I think. Yeah. It's only a
Yeah.
week
Well,
ago.
again, I'm numb to like Samuel L. Jackson continuously be like, I'm alive. Okay.
And every product is in Marvel, Star Wars. I'm alive. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's
Well,
been
I believe
free
Nick
since
Fury more than
2005.
Mace Windu, honestly. But
Very
Oh, I
true.
forgot about that show too. God.
oh yeah, the Nick Fury thing is developed.
Yeah. With kind of a similar premise, right? Like, I think that premise is
Yeah.
like be a main lead, but it could be a prequel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm more
Very
down for that.
interesting.
An Agent of Swords show. I'm down. But,
hell yes. But yeah, so like I think the rumor specifically said Alden in multiple Disney Plus projects, which is very fast. I have to look up the tweet now, which is very fascinating because
Animated series. I don't know.
I would like that actually. Animated Han Solo series. I mean, if so, you know what? I hate animated going to live action, but allow me to be the hypocrite, and I would like a live action show to go animated, like a Solo 2 show, but all animated with the same voice actors. Like that could go places. I like that idea.
At this point, I just want more Galaxy of Adventures solo adaptations right now.
That was good too. Yeah, I don't know if the person who does Han's.
I
voice
love
in Galaxy of
those
Adventures,
shots. The Falcon is so cool.
so good.
I had to pull that up after this episode, but
I think they only have like one where it's like about like Chewbacca, but like they start off.
it's like a brief
190?
glimpse of him, right?
Yeah, like
It's just like
190
5
years old.
seconds, but we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
Solo.
Alden, he said it.
But other than Alden Ehrenreich being casted in a buddy comedy with Ryan Gosling, this is number 2 on my list. of being projects that I want to see come to fruition, because Ryan Gosling has been elevated from his McDonald's status. He got Wolfman.
Wow.
He's got all these projects. He came back. He came back with vengeance. He's working with a bunch of cool people. Alden Ehrenreich is still in the drive-thru right now, and I'm waiting for him to someone in Hollywood to call this man.
What do you mean?
Because he is so talented, and I don't understand how he has not been in a major blockbuster since 2018. It is criminal. Okay.
When was Ryan Gosling in the McDonald's? When was he doing that?
Just after First Man.
After First Man, yeah.
After First Man, and he just like no
happening.
projects were announced for like a year, and people were like, "Oh, he's working."
First Man was only 2 years ago. The guy is doing fine.
Yeah, but he filmed it
It's
before.
just funny.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, I think Gangster Squad really killed his career. But
well, yeah, because wasn't like back-to-back First Man and Blade Runner like underperformed?
2017, 2018. Yeah, not the best.
Coming back though, Wolfman.
Yeah, he's coming back with some fur. All the furries are gonna be happy.
Clip it.
But yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
All in. And we've gone on like on record, like there's so many different abilities you can have where like you follow the whole like Crimson Dawn crime syndicate stuff with Maul and Kira that can interlude with conflicting interests with like jobs for Jabba that Han and Chewie can pick up, and also Lando subsequently. He could be like a bridge tie, honestly.
That is fun, but I need that romantic connection. I need Kira.
Yes.
I need her in the show. I love Lando. I love Chewie. I love Jabba. Kind of. I don't really like. I can give it.
I really do want Puppet Jabba so bad. That looks so cool.
That would be cool. But just give me Kira. Kira and Han relationship is key to Solo. Without that, I wouldn't like. I still don't have the Solo DVD actually, but
oh really?
Wow.
It's on Disney
Big
Plus.
Man,
it was on Netflix and it was on Disney Plus.
He makes Solo 2 guys happen. I haven't even supported the movie.
I have the t-shirt. I
hope you have the stream on loop on Disney Plus then. Like
it's right up there with Lion King.
Rack up the views. Get the views up. Get the stream time going.
Gotta do it.
It was on Netflix. Now it's on Disney Plus. I had no reason to buy it.
I mean, I will apologize. I took you away from the Resistance broadcast watch party because we were streaming that day.
No.
They just did another watch party the other day. Like 2 weeks ago or last week they did a Friday night stream of Solo.
That's what he was talking about. Yeah.
But yeah. Need it all, especially need the Han and Kira, because we went into that too of like imagining like the way things could go of just like the like double crossing an effective relationship and stuff.
Yeah, the double crossing it happens in tons of TV shows these days when there's like two dual protagonists in a lot of these TV shows. You see it a lot in the Better Call Saul does it perfectly when there's so many different protagonists besides Saul who get very great characterizations, whether it's like Lalo.
I love Mike in that show.
Mike, yeah, exactly. Kim, great.
And it could be your perfect stepping stone because honestly, like Han is like a lot more emotionally driven in Solo versus A New Hope. So like it's can all be the bridge that like hardens him to the New Hope Han we have, even though he still has that caring side. He's a lot more like face front.
Absolutely. And you have to think that Kira's character, that give and take that you guys are talking about, is so perfect because obviously she was able to put up that front at the end of Solo and be like, hey, I'm going to let you get out and I'm going to stand my ground. Even though, of course, we see that shot of her and the Maul's lightsaber in her eyes. She's terrified. How she's going to be vulnerable at some point in this show of, being in this system now that she's more directly under this terrifying guy. At some point, she's that escapism with Han is going to be alluring again. It's just how humans work, especially when they're attached to each other. And I just want that give and take between, the syndicates on their back and all out, just chaos, but like they still just kind of like want each other, but they can't have each other. I need it.
Give me to it now, or give it to me now.
And let Kira live.
Please and thank you. Yes, exactly. That better be the case. Like Carson, it reminds me of Kaz and Tam in Resistance Season 2. No spoilers, but like Kaz and Tam in Season 2 are like great. That dynamic is beautiful.
So good. Please watch Resistance season 2. This is an open plea. It is like I know you guys. I have heard so much trash about Resistance and like, oh, I watched 4 episodes and it was just not for me. Guys, I promise you, I am 21 years old and I was so entertained by season 2. Like I know it's a kid's show, but there's actually some crazy good themes that come up, especially with like the First Order, like terrorizing worlds. It actually gets kind of dark in season 2, and I think you guys should watch it.
It's
I should watch
dark,
it.
but a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a fantastic show.
It's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, obviously, we're big championers to make Solo 2 happen, and we hope it does.
Yeah, me too. And lastly, like, 'cause I know people always say like, Evan, if you really want a Solo 2 show, like, what about all these other like original shows, or how about we get out of the original trilogy timeline? And I'm like, I totally agree with that. Like, I'm very excited for the Leslie Headland show, and all the other new movies that are possibly coming out. We'll get into that in a second. But I also like Solo is kind of like that last gasp of like this original trilogy timeline that I would really want to see moving forward for Lucasfilm. I know I really want them to go into new, unique places, but I just really like Solo. I love that character. I love all the characters in that movie, and that would be like kind of, for me at least, the last gasp of a original trilogy era show for me for Lucasfilm.
I think it's one of the most rewatchable Star Wars movies. Like if I had a top 3 most rewatchable Star Wars movies, I think I'd put Solo in there just of how effortless it feels and everything about it.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much, just like it feels so like loose and like non-sequential that you don't have to like be like in the stack of like other films to have such an enjoyment for it. It's just a fun ride.
I concur.
But also it has deep stuff. Like so yeah. It's its own contained film in a lot of aspects for a spinoff, as opposed to being like a direct tie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But moving out of that original trilogy mind frame, another rumor, which I'm gonna need some help with from you guys because I really don't have much knowledgeable stuff. There's been rumor about a Darth Bane project, or maybe multiple projects. I don't know really a lot about Darth Bane or like Old Republic stuff.
Okay, so so first of all, this rumor was from Daniel Reichman again, same thing as the last rumor source. And then I listened to Kessel Run Transmissions as they discussed the rumor, and they added some not legitimacy to it. They also said take it with a very big grain of salt, of course, because again, this isn't High Republic. This is a lot of Old Republic stuff going on here. And again, Lucasfilm is looking for a lot of unique stuff to think about for their next series of movies. And of course, one of the biggest names, like up on any person working at Lucasfilm, like what story should we do?
Revan.
Yeah. Oh God. Revan. But
really don't like Revan?
Not really. But
I don't know.
A majority of people working at Lucasfilm would probably say Darth Bane. He's one of the most famous Sith behind like Vader and Sidious.
I'm sorry.
And Plagueis. I mean, besides the movie characters, a lot of the fans really know Bane. And Bane.
I do know that Bane like had an appearance in Clone Wars briefly in like the
yes. Yeah, you're right. That's the only canon appearance of Bane, when he appeared in one of those Yoda Lost Missions episode. I forget what those.
Yeah. I think it was season 6.
Season 6 stuff, right?
Doing the Dagobah stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's like the only voiced by Mark Hamill. And that's kind of like the only appearance of Bane in that show. But yeah, Bane is an Old Republic villain, antagonist, Sith, who worked like he was kind of like an everyday man, very strong. I forget how tall he was. I think he was perceived very tall in the series of books. There's a Bane trilogy, which is excellent. But he's a very built guy, worked in the mines, but then he gets initiated into the Sith. I'm kind of like a lot of do a lot of stuff here. But he works in the Sith, and then of course he's the one who meant to do like the rule of 2. Trying to pit the Jedi versus the Sith, and then he kind of destroyed the Sith basically, and led the rule of 2 with his apprentice Zana, which is also a very fascinating character that nobody really talks about too much. But his apprentice is a very key figure in the second Bane book, and most importantly, the third Bane book as well. And she's very important to his legacy as well. But But yeah, Bane is a very fascinating character. Like I said, there's a trilogy of books here. There's a trilogy of movies coming up as well. I don't think those are connected, but I do think the possibility is there that one of these movies could be Bane. Maybe it could be Bane trilogy. These are the kind of things that Noah and Corey were talking about on Castle Run Transmissions. I think Noah said it could be a Disney Plus series, or one of them said it could be a Disney Plus TV series. I think that's the route I would want it to go, given how we've seen Mando season 1, at least, like how much breathing room you can take for a TV show compared to a movie in just one season.
Yeah.
I think I would want that for Bane.
I could also see it being an animated series, especially with how, with it being set in an era that we haven't explored in canon, visually at least, that, it'd be pretty ambitious from a live action perspective to kind of, flesh out an entire new era of. I'm not saying they won't do it, because I think it's either an animated show or they, decide that that's the new era they want to dive into, and that's just going to come up naturally in the storyline, and they go all out with, the movie side of things. But then again, I'm like, Disney Plus is so interesting because they can have, just as big of a budget and have so much more room to sprawl out an era and the lore of everything. I just want to like go into hibernation until we get an official announcement of like where the movies are going. Like I feel like
crazy that it's 2020 right now, about to head into winter 2020, and we have no news on like specific directors for each of the movies. Granted, it's like 2023, 2025, and 2027 now. But come on, like we know everything about James Cameron's freaking movies, about Avatar 2 and beyond, and those are like in the same timeline as the new Star Wars movies, and we had close to nothing besides Taika Waititi, Kevin Feige being a producer on something in the future, and then maybe Rian Johnson, maybe.
Here's the hoping.
I'm hoping too. 2027, Rian Johnson. Yeah. I mean,
what's up?
Ooh, Alabama, nice. What's up? So yeah, here's hoping. Like, could Taika Waititi, who is like one of the most hardcore confirmed directors for one of these upcoming movies, could he be doing something Darth Bane related? It seems like a weird combination. A dark character like Darth Bane being written directed by Taika Waititi is not something I would expect. But
you never know. I feel like, I wouldn't say that when I don't remember like hearing about Taika like getting the Thor project, but I never would have been like, oh, Taika Waititi and Thor, like based purely on what they did with Thor and Thor Dark World, and then watching like What We Do in the Shadows and his, more comedic films, be like, oh yeah, Thor. But as much as I have some issues with Thor Ragnarok, I think it connects us to the best Thor kind of emotional line. Like I love Thor and Infinity War so much. Like that's like my favorite iteration of Thor, and I think Taika was essential at getting him to that place and the characterization of all that. So I could, maybe it'd be less comedic, and maybe it'd be a challenge for him. I think it'd be kind of cool if he got to go all out and just be Taika in a completely different era, which I still maintain that, like, I think Taika, I think it would just be a disservice to signing him on as a director to, put him in a box and have him like do something and I think it's already been confirmed that like it's not going to be in an era that we know or have a lot of stories in, which I'm just hoping that they stick to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly been confirmed, or at least for Taika. I always at least have it in my head, like the whole Rian Johnson quote from like 3 or 4 years ago now, where he was like, I want to do something brand new, completely original, that we've never seen before. I don't remember Taika saying that, but I agree with you. I think that is probably a foregone conclusion at this point. That has to be something. And yeah, if he was given somebody like a Darth Bane, then he would again be handcuffed probably to what came before. Granted, I love the book so much, but those would probably have to change, and that's going to bring with it some fan backlash. So I don't know.
But also I think you have some freedom to kind of reinvent the characters, because as much as it's popular, as much as it's, really the spirit of it and the fans have been so connected to it, in the, they're not canon books anymore. They're legends, correct? And so, I think general audience are going to be like, well, in the book, it was described his lightsaber had a blah, blah, blah hilt, and they put it on the movies. This is ridiculous. I feel like you have a little more wiggle room in terms. It's like that, the whole comic accuracy conversation, I feel like it's like, don't write to mimic a comic, because they're different mediums. Write what's a good story, and then fill in the necessary details. And I think
The Lion King 2019.
Oh man.
But yeah, I agree with you.
I forgot what the main topic was. We started with
Darth Bane,
and then we ended up talking about Taika.
I don't have much to offer. I'm sorry. I just
no, you're fine. I mean, I just think like it's gonna be very interesting whenever they dive into characters that are based off of these Legends books. Like again, we've seen, I think Thrawn's one of the more prominent ones that are just taken from the book, given into the new canon Star Wars medium. And I think he's been given a great reception, especially in the books now. But of course, in Rebels and stuff like that, people want him in like a Fallen Order 2 or a Mandalorian somewhere. I don't know.
I'll throw this question out because I think it's interesting. How I think he intrinsically has to play a role of mention, or kind of like that buildup of the Sith stuff in the High Republic stuff, because obviously, because the Bane stuff predates that, right? And so I think there's going to be some sense of discovery of like how ingrained this rule of two, and just like how they rose from that, and without even knowing it, obviously how Bane was a part of that. So I think we could start like building up his character in the mentions of High Republic, and as the Jedi kind of start to freak out and be like, oh, like this has been going on for a while. I think that could be interesting.
That's a good idea, but part of me thinks that Lucasfilm chose the High Republic 200 years before the Phantom Menace, specifically for the fact that they don't have to dive into that iffy topic of the Sith.
And I think it would be only like one author that would do it. Like, I think it would be something that, or if it was even just like a comic book, or I think there could be an interesting tie in there. But I think I'd be much happier with someone just getting a new project in a different area, not attached to the whole Project Luminous book thing.
Me too. Yeah. I think a lot of Project Luminous is going to be completely unique and different. But like we said earlier, when Project Luminous was first announced, there's like different phases to Project Luminous. Who knows if phase 2 of Project Luminous is going to incorporate like, okay, we have the Nile versus the Jedi. We've seen that stuff now. But what are the Sith doing during this time period? How are they hiding? How is the Rule of Two being enacted here? Who is the two?
And have the Sith corrupted the Nile in a specific way, or it's like that's interesting.
Very interesting. I'm very excited for that. So yeah, at this point, do you guys still think these upcoming 3 movies, 2023, 2025, 2027, are they going to be connected at all? If it's Darth Bane, it might be connected. If Darth Bane not even associated with these new movies, they're just all set in a different time period. What do you guys think?
I think at this point, only like real reason I feel like they're connected is just because of like how close in proximity they're releasing in the same like month.
Yeah. Like back to back, not back to back, but just like every other year, similar to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
I'm torn because I really did, for what it's worth, and the whole a Star Wars story spin-off phase of going from Force Awakens to Rogue One and then Last Jedi to Solo. I do like that kind of give and take of, obviously it's different because those stories were very tied to original trilogy characters and events and timeline wise, but it was cool to see different kind of movies outside of the the Skywalker, like, I guess, storyline. Obviously, it's all still the saga that is ongoing and continuing. But, I think it would be really bold and cool if they just got 3 filmmakers and just said, here you go. And just doing their own thing. I think the trilogy is the most tempting, but if you're not prepared to go in all in for it, don't rush to make it happen and run into the same situation that you ran into with the sequel trilogy.
I agree. Like, I think trilogy is so, like you said, so tempting. But if they do new filmmakers, which it seems like they're going to be doing regardless, because Taika apparently only signed up for 1 movie. Kevin Feige's doing 1 movie. Ryan Johnson 1 movie, or 3. We don't know. So it just seems like they're all so disconnected. I wouldn't really want them to do a trilogy, but I wouldn't mind them doing like a series of films. Like a series of films that are closely related. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like all in the same kind
Benioff
of
and Weiss supposed to do like, didn't they
Yeah.
sign like a absurd 5-picture deal or 5 like something
like
which was bonkers at the time and it's bonkers now.
Speaking of Benioff and
We don't
Weiss,
know.
like their project was rumored to be like the origins of the Jedi, and then now we hear about this Darth Bane thing, which is technically Darth Bane helps out with their current orientation of the Sith. So I think Lucasfilm right now, all the rumors, if you want to like connect a little map here, like they're all digging into the origins of certain like creeds, like Sith, Rule of Two, Jedi, maybe. I have a feeling that's where Taika Waititi is going to go. The origin of the Jedi is just so freaking long ago. I don't know if Taika's going to go that far back, but it is possible.
I mean, you could.
Know.
It's so fascinating to me that all the rumors about the Disney Plus shows, besides the official announcement of the Leslie Headland show, have been so tied to existing characters. And every time there's a rumor, it's not like it's going to be about this or it's going to be set here. It's always Lando, Han, Chewie, Kira. It's always the character is the first thing in the rumor, which is so fascinating to me. And then we hear about some of the movie rumors. It's like it's a character still, but it's just so departed from anything that we've seen. So I'm curious to see how they're going to utilize the movies as like, exploring a new era. And then maybe they use these Disney Plus shows to like, hey, the fans really want to see this gap filled in. Oh, and then so we have our original, like the Mandalorian. So I'm so excited to just like find out something like what is the slate for like the next 3 years. It's like I can't wait.
I mean, like Nathan's always saying, we've getting all these scoops, but nothing official. Like, give us some official. Like we got Mando,
baby.
It's Baskin Robbins all over again. Like, give me some official news. Like we got
we had a lot of
which
TV
is
news,
great.
right? We
got a lot of
Cassian shooting next month. Obi-Wan's gearing up for spring. But movies, we haven't heard anything. And I mean,
empty.
I'm fine with taking their time. But like,
movies are the epitome of Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars is all about, for me at least, going to the movie theater, watching Star Wars on the big screen. I love all these possibilities of all these Disney Plus shows being like 2022 and 2023 or whatever. But like, I'm just very hungry for some movie announcements, some movie news. Like,
and I think this next wave of movies, I'll say it again, is like this will define Kathleen Kennedy's legacy, is how she initiates this next phase of how she leaves a new era of Star Wars. Because, the sequel trilogy was fresh and new, but also it was kind of a follow through to this pipe dream of like, hey, George, you hear every 5 seconds in the Rise of Skywalker movies, George always envisioned 9 movies. This is the Skywalker story, blah, blah, blah. But now the doors are wide open. And it's like, what does she do with that? And like, it's interesting.
That's the question. And she's still mentioning George. Like, when they asked her, like, what's next after the Rise of Skywalker? She's like, well, following what George said, we're just going to explore Star Wars, or some BS publicity statement. I'm like, you said that years ago. Like, while you were making Rise of Skywalker, you said, well, after this, we're going to be doing some good stuff with Ryan Johnson and Benioff and Weiss. We're going to go down to the roots of Star Wars. And then those people got fired. And then Rise of Skywalker came out to its reception. I'm like, I think you're right, Carson. Kathleen Kennedy she keeps saying like she wants to get this new era off the ground, this new what's next. She wants to set up the next person that's gonna be following her. And these movies might be a good legacy for her on top of what happened between 2015 and 2019. So it could be interesting. And just no more firings, please, and just give us some good content.
Just trust people. If you're gonna hire someone, just trust them and hire them. And I know it's way, way, way more complicated than that.
Yeah, totally.
But if you don't want a comedic movie, don't hire Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Or
if
Colin
you don't want a big scale monster movie type feel, don't hire Gareth Evans. If you don't like, just pick and choose your battles. Like, I just go for something, and I that's all we can ask for at this point.
Where the heck is Gareth Edwards at, man?
I said Gareth Evans. I'm so sorry.
I knew what you meant. Yeah, Gareth Evans doing pretty well, but
man, he's doing an original sci-fi movie. I bring it up.
Keep saying that, and it's never coming out.
He is. I will send you the link.
I keep saying the last thing I saw was like a random BTS shot of him working on Rogue One, and he's just sitting there with the PlayStation controller.
My favorite thing ever is the picture of the Rogue One poster where it was a mock-up that marketing sent over to him, and he just absolutely obliterated it. And with his writing, he's like, "This needs to move here. This should be bigger. This should
show me that."
It's just
I've never seen that.
It's so funny, and then he like signs it too or something. Man. Like,
this is a video.
Hilarious. No, it's just a picture of a poster.
Oh,
yeah, never seen that.
I'll try to find it. I don't know how to Google search Gareth Evans eviscerates one poster.
It's right next to the Clifford pictures.
All right. Well, yeah, it's a very chill stream. Clearly, I'm just so laid back right now.
Yeah. Rumor City is over.
Yeah. Let's talk about the existing and what we enjoy. First off the bat, let's wish a very happy birthday to one Jonas Sotimo, our new and defining legacy Chewbacca, who is just the best soul. I don't want to lose him. Bring him back. Make Solo 2 happen.
Yeah, he's still a very young Chewbacca. I don't know how old the guy's turning, but happy birthday. I think he's like 30, early 30s.
He's a dad, you know.
He's a dad, yeah. I mean, he's a very energetic person. Throughout all the marketing for the sequel trilogy, he was always that like consistent presence in the marketing, and just always being so happy to be in this universe and following Peter.
Okay, I sent the Rogue One thing.
Whatever.
Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew's footsteps, and I would love to see him in more projects.
Yeah, absolutely. He I was like imagine and thought it was cool.
Too much like unbelievable. Sorry.
Well, no, yeah, I just always thought it was must be fascinating to be working like simultaneously on sequel trilogy stuff and like jumping to something like Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Going from The Force Awakens, Last Jedi to Solo, then Rise of Skywalker. It's like,
yeah, it's such an interesting journey because, you know, it's like I still want more Chewbacca, and I just hope that I just want him to just keep playing Chewbacca, and so like, you know, I can sit here and lecture the last 30 minutes of like, oh, what is the new era that Kathleen Kennedy is gonna leave? But also I'm just like, I want more Chewie, man. Like at the same time, like I just a walking contradiction because Chewie is just such a staple to Star Wars, and I think Jonas is just so upbeat and happy about everything. I'm like, this is just preserve this because this is someone who clearly just loves Star Wars and is so grateful they get to make Star Wars. And I'm like, I'd love when these kind of people are involved in projects.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Also, in terms of birthday, it's the anniversary of simultaneously not just the first couple episodes of the Clone Wars, but also the premiere of Rebels. I think the Spark of Rebellion episode.
That is crazy.
Wow.
I saw that on Twitter today. I'm like, oh, I forgot those two shows aired the same day. Of course, not the same day and time, but just like same date.
What year did Rebels air?
I think it was 20. It was like the poster was saying 6 years ago, so I guess 2014.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, that is crazy. I followed Rebels all throughout my college years, starting in 2014, ending in like my
2017.
senior year,
I
2017.
remember catching up on the show in early 2016 because my whole Star Wars fandom just boomed in my head after seeing Force Awakens. I'm like, I love Star Wars again. I'm going to watch everything. I'm going to read everything. Blah, 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 blah. So I binged the entire 2 seasons at the time. And then season 3 was coming out. And season 3 was the first one that I watched live. And I'm like, I got the Disney XD app, whatever, pulled up on my computer. Such a good time. Just that show changed my whole perspective on Star Wars. I'll never forget watching it for the first time. There's something so perfect about that first episode of Kanan walking out, and just I love the introduction to Kanan and just that whole first episode. It's so good.
Yeah,
I love the lightsaber moment. Like the Pierce like focus all fire on, and he's like hesitant. He's like on the Jedi. Like, oh my god.
that was so good. I mean, just rewatching. Like, we did our Rebels rewatch right after Clone Wars, or I guess it was before Clone Wars season 7. I forget when I did it now. Earlier this year, regardless. And it was just, man, seeing those first couple episodes, I'm like, the nostalgia in these episodes. I remember the hype leading up to it, seeing the trailers, people criticizing Ezra. But when I first saw the first 2 episodes, I was in love with the show already. I was like, the music is right. It just feels right. I love this. And then by the end of season 1, you get really hooked on this whole family of everybody involved. Hera, Sabine, Kanan, Zeb, Ezra. Man, I mean, it's such a perfect, I'll keep on saying it, it's a perfect Star Wars show. I freaking love it.
It's my favorite show. So what would you guys say is like, I feel like it's easier for Clone Wars to ask favorite arc and like a favorite episode from Rebels.
Well, I have a few.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone's gonna go, Twilight Apprentice, best name ever. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
But you cannot tell me that you were not crying in the club during Trials of the Darksaber. That episode, I don't think I've cried more in any Star Wars content. I don't know. That score at the end of that episode, and just like they're just yelling back and forth with each other, and Sabine's just like coming to her own, and then she like realizes that she still has to be herself in her training. She gets creative, and she uses like a part of, I can't remember what she does. Like she like shoots one of her wire things. Yeah, and she just bests him. It's like, oh my god, I love this show so much. And by that point, you're 3 seasons in, totally invested in this whole family, and the Mandalore stuff is so compelling by season 3, and you understand where Sabine is coming from completely. And I think Trials of the Darksaber is one of my top 3 episodes. I don't know if it's my top 1, but that's like what I think when someone asks me like, well, it's one of my top episodes of Rebels, that's immediately one that comes to mind.
Ooh,
I mean, I'm crying my hardest during both not just the finale, but also during Jedi Night.
Dang, Nathan, I hate you so much. You took my choice.
Well, that's not my favorite episode though. I was just
okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you can have it. My favorite episode is still Twin Sons, personally.
Ooh, dang, that's a really good one.
That's a really good episode.
Shout out to Sky Talkers podcast, who just came out with a new episode today all about Twin Sons. Ooh. And it's really good. I was listening to a little bit of it earlier today.
Nice.
But yeah, Twin Sons. Talk about it, Nathan.
Yes. One of the best lightsaber duels, I think so.
Ooh. Totally, and it's so controversial when it came out. People are all like,
that's it for nothing. That's it. Oh, what a waste! Like,
yeah, I'm like, man,
and everyone, and we're like, Kurosawa, Bruce, you don't understand the cinema of samurai.
Straight samurai instant. Because what do you think a samurai sword fight goes, dude? That's how it is. That's what the whole Jedi are based off.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the audience grew up on the prequel fight, so that's what they expected. Even looking at the original trilogy fights, like that, it was very close to that.
Honestly, I remember initially like people being like annoyed at like the build up because like they teased Ben Kenobi in the trailers, but then he did like the old Obi-Wan stance. And everybody was like, "Oh, it's just this old man's gonna kick ass. Like, what's this about?" But no, it's like it's even better of how it is like going down too, because it's like they just do the quick clash and stuff. But the fact that like Obi-Wan starts off in the Qui-Gon stance, for his master, which is great, and then Maul picks that up and he goes to like knock into his face like he did Qui-Gon to best him, but then Obi-Wan's expecting and he slices right through it down his torso.
Fantastic. And then like, the music in the background, like you hear, I think like drums or something, like you hear like that tense rhythm in the background, like, oh crap, what's gonna happen? What's gonna go down?
Oh, especially when he's just like figuring out, oh, Obi-Wan's watching over somebody, and it's
Oh
moving.
yes.
Oh my god. And then it gets personal when he ignites the blade.
And yeah.
Just like the ending as well. I just like it just because I'm a nerd and I love Star Wars. I'm like tearing up. It's like, look at Luke. It's beautiful because you're just watching over him. It's nice, and I expect my feelings to be even more amplified by that when we see it in Kenobi.
Yeah. The episode as a whole though is very good. Like the whole lead up to it with Ezra on the base saying like I gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta confront.
Isn't he having
Maul.
the like the visions that are
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember watching them a rewatch because I totally forgot about that whole part of the episode. Like he's having full on visions of Maul, of course, based on season 3 because he had the whole Maul scene.
He almost slashed down another rebel.
Yeah, he almost like united his lightsaber. Like Ezra, you gotta calm down. Like, and then he sneaks away, goes to Tatooine, nearly dies. With him and Chopper.
That same episode, does Kanan go to talk to Bendu?
I think it's earlier in the season. But yeah, they are upset that Ezra left. But I love that episode for Ezra so much too because Obi-Wan really tells him like I forget the quote, but it's like there are battles being fought, but like your battle is not here. Like your journey is not with like this where it's at right now. It's like you need to go back to the base with your friends and family. That's where your true arc is. That's where your true journey is, and that's when he becomes really focused on like protecting Chopper Base, protecting everybody there, leading up into the finale of that whole crazy good finale of Thrawn coming in and wrecking shop. Like,
oh yeah,
I love season 3 so much.
That's a great finale too, especially the moment where Thrawn confronts Bendu.
Yes.
Like seeing his future, arms surrounded in gold.
1,000 arms.
So good.
Yeah.
And he just shoots him and like he's gone and you just hear ominous laughter. I'm just like, oh my god.
So good. But yeah, for me, Jedi Knight, Carson talked about like, no, I didn't cry. I cried so much.
I cried.
Out of the Dark Saber. I meant that, but I cried buckets, especially on the rewatch of Jedi Knight, and then is it Jedi Knight then Dune?
Jedi Knight then Doom. I'm looking at it now.
Doom. Jedi Knight, and then I cried buckets when they come back and Zep's like, "Where's Kanan?" I'm tears. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, yo.
Pretty much all of Doom is just a morning episode too,
which is so good. Like we had a whole morning, 23-minute morning episode. Like this is why Rebels is the best. People, I'm telling you. Like
and the Wolf, man. I like to imagine Kanan's spirit.
Jeez, like season 4 is. It's
of course we haven't talked about World Between Worlds yet. That's a whole other conversation.
Yes, it is.
Love.
Dude, that was
season
probably
4.
like, I think World Between Worlds is the most I've ever been shocked by a Star Wars. Like, because
no, I'm sitting there. I'm just like, wait, hold up, what?
Time travel? Like,
you're probably right.
Are we time traveling? Like, oh my god.
It is the most shocked. I remember before that, of course, I was the most shocked at Twilight of the Apprentice when you see like Anakin saying like Ahsoka. I'm like mind blown, crazy.
Lantern.
I know. But then World Between Worlds comes in, smacks you in the behind, and says, "Guess what? Star Wars is much more bigger than you ever thought possible." You hear Kylo, you hear Rey, you hear Maz Kanata, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm like, what is happening?
Don't you tell me that's how the Force works when we do something like this. Like,
yeah, and then all those freaking articles coming out afterwards, like, oh, this is gonna break Star Wars, but no.
It's so fascinating watching. Like, I think Star Wars Explained themselves put up a video of like inserting like clips to the voices, and it's so crazy because you're seeing like stuff from prequels, or even like Jin from Rogue One, Chirrut, and everybody.
Yeah, I remember watching that for the first time. Like I literally, my brother and I, like we stood up at the TV. We're like, "What is happening right now?" And then like you see him walking, and then of course, I'm a huge Kylo fan by this point. I think season 4 was like in 2017, 2018, whatever. And then you hear like I will follow you. Like you hear Kylo's line from The Force Awakens or whatever. And I'm just like going crazy. I'm like, this episode is glowing. And then Ahsoka appears, and I go crazy. We're like, yo, he pulls her out.
And like,
oh my
God.
God.
Literally, and you can like my reactions on the channel. You can literally watch it. I'm already freaking out. Just like, oh my God, you're hearing all these voices. Like, where are we? And then like you see like more of the like an alternate angle of the Twilight of the Apprentice. I'm like, oh my God. And I like freaked out in like because it all happens within like 2 seconds where like he reaches in and grabs Ahsoka and pulls her out of the situation. Floor collapses under Vader, and it's just like, bam, Ahsoka's back. Like what?
Insanity. Because we all had so many theories in our heads of like how that battle went about. Like we're like, Vader walked away. Ahsoka went down those steps and Twilight of the Apprentice. Was that her ghost? Like, what happened?
Is she the bird now? I don't know.
Yeah, she the bird now. But then you see the battle and Vader almost kills her. Like, wow. And then it's like, wait, did Ezra? Because even I was so confused initially. I'm like, okay, did Ezra just change time? But then like, no, it's like that was always meant to happen.
But then also, in continuity, Ahsoka goes back to the same time, like afterwards.
Yes.
And
exactly.
So then she lives out the rest of that existing time. By the time we get back to the finale, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
exactly. Because he pulls so much out in War Between Worlds. Yeah.
Yes.
What's she doing all that
so
time?
Great.
Rebels, now that I think about it.
I know. You could just sit there and think of the whole decision for hours and be like,
show.
Now I'm like, now I'm just like, all right, but yeah.
But one last thing about it is, bless whoever made this poster, but there was a Rise of Skywalker poster with Rey walking on like this salt plain with the exact same footprints that Ezra has in the World Between Worlds.
We all went crazy during that.
My brain has never been the same since, and then of course,
and we saw the movie.
Jada doesn't even know what that is.
Yeah, bro. Like I think like weeks later, I was like, "Oh, that artist is just it was a fan made thing." We're like,
the hopes I had at the start of Rise of Skywalker, where I'm just like, is that a holocron? Is this a Sith temple like Filoni would have? Like,
yeah, I mean,
a Wayfinder.
Yeah, as soon as I was like, hold on, that's not it.
Why did we keep going back on Rise of Skywalker on the podcast?
Like the gas clouds.
We have to do a
little trace thing.
We all need to sit down and do like a sequel trilogy commentary.
Oh my gosh, I would love
that'd be amazing.
Probably split it up between 3 episodes, probably, or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unless
or 3-hour podcast. But yeah, that whole episode, World Between Worlds, is just unforgettable. Like Nathan said, it's probably would it be the most surprising event of the modern canon era?
I think so.
I mean, Luke Skywalker dying in Last Jedi.
Luke on Crate comes.
You're
to
a
mind.
Palpatine.
That was. I mean, the rumors on Reddit had that clocked like a month before the movie came
for the
out.
wrong reasons. Was I shocked?
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that today on Twitter, like year anniversary of the leak. I'm like, this leaked in October 3rd. And it was the ending?
I never saw this leak, but now seeing this leak, the fact that like it's like so concrete of like what does happen, but the fact that there was more, and the fact
Ben was there.
About the Ben Solo thing.
Ben was the person in the hood. Like
I would have hated that ending because Rey Skywalker, but at least Ben would have been alive too. So it's like,
but also, why aren't they together? Where's he going? No.
Where's he going? Yeah, stupid. But
I guess Ben is Power there too. Maybe I don't.
Because he feels guilty and can't show himself because also like. It
would have given some good story opportunities, but I still wouldn't have liked it.
It would have been
Rise of Skywalker. I don't like what they did with Ben, but they really butchered Rey, in my opinion, too, which is the ultimate sin. But yeah, Rebels is some good Star Wars, and
yes,
going back real quick to season 1 because that was like where it all started. I love the season 1 finale. I forget the voice actor for the Grand Inquisitor. But he was really good. I always liked his voice. I thought his very imposing presence.
Was it Jason Isaacs? I don't.
Ooh, that name does seem to click. It could have been Jason Isaacs. He might be on the dot there. But I always liked the Grand Inquisitor so much, and his presence, a whole fight in the finale of season 1, him, Ezra, and Kanan. Ezra finally gets the confidence to fight alongside Kanan, and it's very much like a parallel to the Phantom Menace, where Maul versus a young Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. It's like, oh man, with the whole bridge scene.
Doesn't the wolf like rise up? Like, doesn't he? Is that the season 1 finale?
Ezra like rises up like an alien. It's not a wolf, but it's some kind of like alien on that planet.
It's like that Force spawn stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and then
he finally does it.
The Grand Inquisitor drops because he says like, there's something I fear more than death, and he's like hinting at Vader, and then he falls to his death. I'm like, oh jeez.
Oh my god, stuff like that is so great. I think what I another like personal favorite moment I like is like any of the stuff that they're doing in the temple on Lothal and having their force. It's great.
Yes.
I especially love Kanan having like this self-acceptance trial before being officially knighted. The whole concept of like knighting is so cool because like before that was just like in the Now Legends 2D Clone Wars stuff that they did for Anakin. I was so happy that they brought it back for Kanan, and it's also in Fallen Order as well for Cal.
It is,
which is so great. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh my god! Like,
is that there's an episode in early season 3, I believe it's called Holocron of Fate. Is that one of the episodes you're talking about? Or do the test?
I think it's before Kanan's even blinded.
Yeah, it's before that.
Which would have been before season Twilight Apprentice was season 2 finale.
And
I think also in
that
thing as well, I think it's like it actually is the Grand Inquisitor himself who was like the Temple Guard. So I guess
Yoda uses the Grand Inquisitor's Temple Guard look to officially knight Kanan. Very great scene. Love it.
And the Yoda scene too is also. I like how Yoda looks as well. He looks like it's like how I would imagine an animated puppet Yoda to be. Contrast with like CG Clone Wars Yoda.
Me too.
I feel like it fits. I love all of the Rebels art style.
I like how Filoni said when Ezra met Yoda in season 1, Yoda was in the World Between Worlds, but Ezra wasn't like a progressed Jedi yet, so he couldn't see like beyond Yoda. But then, like in season 4, he realizes Yoda is in the World Between Worlds.
Oh my god, that reminds me of the Last Jedi when Ben's like, "Can you see my surroundings? Because I can't see yours. Just you."
Oh, just you. Ooh, that delivery. Just you.
Oh, I'm emotional. All right, but let's swing over to Clone Wars as well because I wanted to ask you guys just to make them more broad favorite arcs. If I go, I just I think a given. I think the most like cinematically, emotionally wrecked I've been from Clone Wars was from both the finale Siege of Mandalore arc, but also the whole like trial of Ahsoka and leaving the Order. Like,
Trial of Ahsoka is definition of like a cinematic storytelling.
So good.
Like, the last few seconds of that show when she's at the Jedi Council and they apologize to her, but you like as an audience and as Ahsoka, you're like,
and but they're like, oh, she's going back, yeah, satisfaction.
Oh my god, and it's like happen. You just hear Mace Windu just like, oh yeah, no, we now realize this was part of your great trial, and it's like,
yeah, we're like, F you, great trial, my butt, yeah.
And then later in like the Siege of Mandalore, he's like, I'm sorry, citizen. I'm like, excuse me.
Dang,
this man.
Oof.
We want a show for him? Okay.
Yeah. Is this your king? No. But yeah, I love you said Siege of Mandalore and the Ahsoka leaves arc, Nathan, right? Yeah, Siege of Mandalore, of course, is brutal, fantastic. I love Maul so much in that arc.
The droids arc.
The droids arc. That's an arc, all right.
George's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. The one that people don't talk about, I mean, people love Clone Wars, they talk about all these arcs, but one that doesn't get a lot of love is the Bounty Hunter arc, where Obi-Wan's death is faked.
And Anakin rage.
Anakin's super enraged. You see like a Jedi funeral, and they don't tell Anakin. It's a great arc all the way around because a fan favorite character, Cad Bane, is back in that arc. He doesn't really trust Obi-Wan's bounty hunter persona. And then they go through these trials. I always love a good trial episode when they're doing some random Hunger Games like tests. I love that stuff.
The box or something.
The box, yeah, something like that. And it was really fun. And it's a great arc for. It's not only just a fun, cool bounty hunter like kind of arc, but it's also a good arc for Anakin because he starts to realize like the Jedi don't really trust him. Why didn't they tell him this kind of information? Of course, they want to make the mission more believable. Blah blah blah. But also it's like, hey, what's going on here? And then you get that when he's talking to Palpatine in that arc, and Palpatine's like trying to goad him, like I think. Because he knows what's going on. He's like, "Oh yeah, Anakin, you should go along, follow this lead, Anakin. I trust you, Anakin." So, man, some really good stuff. So in season that arc, and that's one I'll never forget.
Oh my god, just contrast of like I trust you, Anakin, and then Revenge of Seth, they don't trust you. Like,
Yep.
Everything. It's always
So good.
it's also fascinating too. Just like thinking, I'm thinking about like the voice actor for Palpatine because I know, at some point they had to replace, and it's so weird because like they replaced him with Tim Curry, who like just kind of sounds like Tim Curry. But it's
I never noticed the difference when I first watched the show.
But yeah, no, the show's great. I think obviously the Mortis arc is pretty great. I love just like diving deep into like Anakin's having the vision of like all the Revenge of the Sith stuff and like Clone Wars aesthetic. That's great.
Yeah, see Anakin after he realizes what he becomes. Like there's like a couple. Mortis is so weird in terms of time. I think there's like a day where he's like going through. He becomes so dark after realizing what he becomes, and trying to prevent it. But he's also become very dark, and then of course he loses all those memories. And I remember I initially when I first saw the Mortis arc, I did not like it. I was like, okay, this is a weird.
It's a lot to take in.
It's not for me. But then
because
after
like,
reading so many. Yeah,
there's a lot of, like cool like imagery too, just like the father like holding the lightsaber blade and stuff, and
yeah, the imagery, the parallels, like the discourse around it. When I came to rewatch it numerous times later, I'm like, whoa, this arc might be my favorite now of the whole entire series. So it's so layered.
Yeah.
Like there's so many. You can connect the Morris arc to so many different things in the Star Wars universe, whether it's the prequels, original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, and it's so good.
Yeah. There's also a really great arc literally right before that, the Night Sisters arc. It's where Dooku is ordered to like eliminate Asajj, and then when he fails, he seeks the aid from her clan of the Night Sisters of Dathomir, and then you learn a bunch of stuff about them. I think that's when Savage is introduced. And
it might be when he was like.
It might be later after that arc. I think he tries to kill her. He comes to them, and then they try to do the whole poison thing. When he tries to fight them in his pajamas. And then it goes to the Mortis arc, but then he comes back again for Savage.
I love the whole like Maul arc, like from his resurrection. I think that goes all the way like straight up from like when you find like him on the junk planet. Like I think it goes like all the way to well, it's when like the Palpatine and Savage fight him, but like the whole course of like that whole story where like Obi-Wan confronts him again so many times, and then like he loses Satine, and that's insane. It's so powerful. But also like, man, Siege of Mandalore is so phenomenal for a finale. It like just like the contrast of like a whole season 7 of it just amplifying its cinematic nature to like the whole bridge sequence, like from the get-go, is just like, this feels like a movie. I'm watching a movie. It truly is a Lucasfilm limited production from the start with all the logos that they have.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like when the first episode of the Siege of Mandalore came out, and we're watching it, and it's like, wait, the green logo? What's going on here? And then
you're like, oh, this is legit.
And then you see all the Jedi dispatch where they're gonna die, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, everybody's theorizing like, what are we gonna see? Oh man, that was
Kanan was great. Like
guys, that was. I'll just reiterate that was this year.
Oh my god!
I know the finale was on May the 4th. Like what? I mean, the whole season was this year, but
even crazier thing about
it. It's October already. Where did the freaking year go? There's like there's February, and then there's like fall, like everything in
Where's the
between.
Rebel sequel announcement?
Yeah.
You're right.
Noah
one
promised
last arc I wanted to
December.
mention. It's a season 5 arc. The title for that I'm seeing on this article is the Shadow Conspiracy arc. It's where it's season 5 episode 1 and then season 5 episode 14 and 16. It like ties heavily into Mandalore and Maul and Savage trying to like create an alliance between Black Sun, the Pike Syndicate, the Hutt Cartel, and then also Obi-Wan and Satine. That whole thing comes to a close.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, okay, I remember now.
Really, really.
Doesn't Maul like march into Jabba's palace? Like,
Yeah, that was
Yeah, he
awesome.
does.
I don't know if it's Jabba's palace or it's like a Hutt area, Hutt cartel
Area.
I think I
Yeah.
remember two separate things for some reason.
and then him and like I think he like throws like a dagger or somebody throws a dagger at him and he like stops it like inches from his face or something.
Oh, he kills
I
some
love
Hutts
I
for
love
sure.
that arc.
Like,
Yeah, that's a great
Maul's
arc. Just seeing
ruthless,
Maul,
dude.
yeah, Maul trying to get all these pirates, then get Death Watch to like ally with him. It's like, oh,
And of course, Teen dying. Like, oh my god, like
mhm.
the classic shot of her just in his arms, and you're like, oh my god, emotional attachment. But like,
Again. Okay. Just imagining just all the things we have of like loss for like Qui-Gon, Satine, and Anakin, and just like this Kenobi show is going to be depressing at times. Like,
It better be.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be better.
Oh, yeah.
I need it.
We better see those
Logan.
connections. Yeah.
yeah.
There's somebody waiting
get a-
for you.
If we get a Johnny Cash Obi-Wan trailer, I'm ready.
Oh, God. I've hurt myself.
Just the
That would
acoustic,
be
like,
so
binary
good,
sound.
though.
Oh,
And
And
it's
between
cuts someone in
flashes
the
of, like, Revenge
cantina
of the
just,
Sith.
like, playing.
oh.
I
That'd be
challenge
funny.
somebody to play the Star Wars. I challenge someone to play Binary Sunset on acoustic guitar and sing in Huttese in a Johnny Cash accent.
Wow.
It's so
That's a lot.
specific, but
You won't, but if you do, you'll get views. I assure you. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, I myself am just gonna make a Logan style trailer for Kenobi footage when it comes out. But
We have to.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
yeah, which
Want
means
to be
I
like a
need to
super
first-
action-packed trailer and you can't do that.
Obi-Wan
By the
wakes
way,
up in
I
a
will
limo.
just use all the flashbacks I have to. I put flashbacks in my super trailer for the Rise of Skywalker because I misconstrued its 3PO's meanings, I guess, but we didn't
gosh.
we didn't have flashbacks.
Remember all
to
the theories
prequel.
around that? Like,
Yeah,
oh, this is how they're gonna blah blah blah. Or I don't even remember, but and then
You
it's
would have
basically
hated,
the
like-
Sith Baga.
new Senate Palpatine stuff we never saw. Like,
Nope.
no, but yeah, that's just,
Detective 3PO. Hey Watson.
Like 3PO's gonna die here. This is last breath. Like, what's gonna happen? And then he
right.
just gets rebooted.
Babu
He's
Frick, one
needed
of my
up.
oldest friends. I like that. I do like that. But yeah, that's about it.
That's
The
about
Malevolence arc. I don't.
it. The Blue Shadow Virus. I like that arc too.
Okay, one last arc. I love that arc. I don't remember what it's called, but it's whoever steals something from the Jedi Temple. I don't know. It's just so cool to see the Jedi Temple like that. Like the security systems of the Jedi Temple, and like someone's like, "Oh, is it?
Isn't it, it's Cad Bane, right? When
It's Cad Bane." I
Yeah,
love
does
that
he
arc.
steal a
It's so
holocron?
cool.
Does he get
yeah.
the
He,
holocron for the
he
children?
steals
Yes.
the hologram from the Jedi Temple. That was a great arc. That was a great one.
I
And
think
then when
it's
he kidnaps
early. I think it's like
Padme and
season 2
Anakin.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
season 2 finale.
Good
I
stuff.
think. Oh, so good. Cad Bane's the best. Where's my Cad Bane show at? Huh, Lucasfilm? Come on.
Do you want?
Now that's a live action character. I would love to see Cad Bane live action. Give it to me.
Alien as the main character. Come on.
Yes.
That's not named Ahsoka.
Ha! I was about to say. All right. I was literally about to get him, but he. All right.
I saw the comments right now. Yeah, Ahsoka.
Yeah, like we get comments that much. But
Yeah, you never know.
yeah. You still listen on Spotify?
Polls?
Oh, did we have a poll last week?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did have a
Oh my
big.
God.
What's our poll?
Oh my god, how did I forget?
Nathan, like, let me pull up the tweet.
Before we go. Honestly, my brain's
still
dying
time.
right now.
Yeah, this is what happens when Nathan doesn't eat.
He eats the full results. The
Listen,
full results give him strength.
yeah, okay. So yeah, we were asking since it was Mark Hamill's birthday, what's your favorite Luke Skywalker moment? All right. Coming at a resounding 12%, we have the Luke and Vader stuff in Empire.
That's crazy.
That's wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't that Luke driven. I mean, we were kind of talking about this last week. We're like, he's more of just like, it's so Vader because he's just talking him down, and he finally gets the reveal, and it's like, it's very Vader. But I still there's nothing that will beat that approach that he just walks in
so badass.
Cuts that wide shot, and it just, and you're like, oh, let's
go. Amazing.
The crowd goes wild.
All right, at 18%, we had the binary sunset from A New Hope.
Okay.
Nice.
I like our audience.
29%, I Am a Jedi from Return of the Jedi.
That's what I voted for, actually.
Wow, so that must mean
so torn.
41% Luke on Crate, The Last Jedi.
Wow.
Good.
That's amazing.
Good.
Slam stable.
I know. Camera goes wild.
The Spotify listeners are just like,
we win again.
Right. What is this trash audio? I'm sorry.
That's crazy. I love that. Yeah, I Am the Jedi spark in the background. Woo-wee.
Yes.
Fun. I have not rewatched The Last Jedi since
me neither.
Last November. It's almost been a year, which is crazy to say.
I was like looking to the Crate battle for when we were discussing favorite lightsaber battles, and then as soon as I started like Luke on Crate, and then I just ended up going all the way to the credits. I couldn't stop.
Yeah, it's impossible.
My favorite Star Wars film.
Could you say, Carson? It's impossible.
No, wait. What is?
No.
What is that from?
Empire Strikes Back. When Vader tells him.
Spoilers.
Wait. No spoilers. No, I'm a horrible Luke impression. I can't do Luke.
You can't do
power converters.
Power converters. No, I can't do it either.
You got the aesthetic.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think that about wraps up. But yeah, we're probably gonna run. I'm gonna think of some sort of poll from our topic this week, and I'll put it up. But so you can follow us on Hyperspace Hype. All of our links in the description below. But that about wraps up our show for the evening, which is good because I'm hungry and I want to go get something to eat because I've not eaten today. That is a problem. So that being said, Evan, where can the good people find you?
It's only 8:00, Nathan. It's okay. It's
9:30.
9:30. Oh shit! I lost track of time myself. But similar to Nathan, I'm also going to eat. I might have some breakfast for dinner.
The best.
Ooh.
Find something on Netflix or probably watch some Big Brother live feeds. I don't know.
What's this anime show about this volleyball? I'm so curious every time you read about it. It looks so cool.
Haikyuu.
Please tell it. Yeah.
Haikyuu.
It looks so
best
cool.
Anime of all time.
It's on Netflix.
Wow.
It's on Netflix. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix. It's about a kid. He was like 5'4". He wants to be the best volleyball player in the world. He wants to go to nationals, and he joins this high school volleyball team, and it's smooth sailing from there.
It looks so good. Every time you tweet that chill, the guy going, and I'm like, yeah.
It's
Evan's
so
description.
good.
Evan's description is just like, this sounds like a very chill My Hero.
I mean, yeah,
it kind of does.
It's a shonen anime, but from a volleyball perspective.
Nice.
And it's great. The teamwork's great. The characters are great. The animation is great. The opening, the sounds. It's one of my favorite anime of all time. It's in my top 5. It's so good. Season 4 just started yesterday. Or season 4 part 2 just started yesterday. So yeah, everybody go watch Haikyuu. It's on Netflix. It's on Crunchyroll. Wherever you watch anime. Don't be like Nathan. Don't be a pirate. Watch it on one of those. I didn't want to call it Nathan, but I'm sorry. It's too late. It just came out.
I thought your mom paid for all of us. I don't understand.
That was a one-time deal, Nathan.
Evan's mom bought my Crunchyroll subscription. I don't know what you're talking about. I just got the credit card, man.
Cool.
No,
Rosa Maria
jokes aside,
Taggio!
jokes aside, you guys can find me on Twitter at the Film Carson, and we'll be back next week. I'm going to see Possessor in theaters tomorrow, which I'm super curious about. It's
Tell me
the
how it is.
new psychological thriller that I've seen one trailer for. It looks very disturbing and very October, very spooky. So I'm excited to hopefully review that next Wednesday on My Cup of Tea, along with whatever these guys watch. Because I'm sure Nathan will dig into the archives and watch an iconic movie that we somehow realized that he hadn't watched, and then we'll get to gush about it for 2 hours because yes, that's my favorite part of our episodes.
Yeah, you can catch me everywhere here on this channel and all social media is linked in the description. Yes, I'm going to be diving deep, and hopefully I can catch up to check out because me passionately, I would like to watch and discuss E.T. the Extraterrestrial, one of my favorite films ever. But also, yeah, I'm gonna try to watch The Prestige because I need to.
Ooh, yes.
But also, on My Cup of Tea on Wednesday, you can catch us where I will be extremely gushing all about the Spider-Verse, which will be. I feel so restrained not to talk about it yet. No, yeah, I'm gonna fight Evan so much on Wednesday, man. It's gonna be great.
Jamie Foxx, why'd you do this?
All these like deleted posts, and there's like a whole web of things I'm just gonna dive into for all this.
Oh wow, web of things. Look at you.
Directed by Mark Webb, indeed. So.
Oh my gosh.
So with that being said, if you did enjoy our podcast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if not already. That being said, hope you have a great day, and may the force be with you always.